How about this? Death by animals. This was more ancient than it is now, but being crushed to death by elephants. I believe that was used in Southeast Asia, India.
They have them step on you? Would they like direct them to crush you?
Yeah.
So they'd lie you down and then they'd have the elephant step on you.
Yes. And they just
That's cool.
crush you. I watched a video like 2 weeks ago of it. It was like some like bully beatdown style account on Twitter. And it was like showing this Indian guy on like a CCTV, like there's this elephant chained up with like 3 of its legs chained way too close together. So it's clearly having a little bit of trouble balancing. And then the other leg is like feeling around trying to balance better. And this guy's just behind him, like, yeah, just he's not trying to get the elephant to move. He's just being a dickhead, just smacking this elephant and poking it and prodding it and bothering it. And clearly not day one of this behavior. And then the elephant breaks out, kicks him, and then like tramples him to death in a way that like it's an elephant, so I should have anticipated this, but you die so easily to an elephant that's mad at you. This guy like got hit and like got hurt a little bit, and so he was bent over in the fetal position on his knees with his like back up. Good. And the elephant was like pushing a little bit on his back, like he's pushing on the back. The guy's head is here, and he was just kind of pushing, getting a feel for where the guy was, and then he just crushed him like a bug. I'm glad there was no audio in the video because it probably would have been more upsetting. But just watching him just go, like literally died like the South Park character. Like,
noise I would make if an elephant crushed me angrily. That's the noise I'd make. Yeah.
It's easy to forget how dangerous and strong some animals can be. Like if Taylor wanted to drag me around by the wrist, he could, but it would take his effort. I'm not that light. But if a tiger wanted to do it, it would be like a woman with a purse, right? Just like it hardly an inconvenience, flipping me around, dragging me where he wanted me to go.
You ever see the video?
The Indian guy?
Chinese couples driving through the park. They're in that tiger park, which I guess exists in Asia. And there's signs everywhere. Stay in your fucking car. And this woman is like, who knows what they were arguing about.
I know what.
To be petty. What were they arguing about?
She wasn't happy with the way he was driving and wanted to switch seats.
This bitch gets out the passenger seat and walks around to the driver's seat and starts trying to tell her husband, apparently, get out. I'll drive us through the tiger park. Wouldn't you know it? A tiger comes out of nowhere.
At the tiger park?
And takes her away into the jungle.
The tiger.
And her husband is like, all right, back in the car. he does not
even. A breeze. He's already leaving. Yeah, I think I've seen that one too. We've all seen the Indian guy who jumped into a tiger enclosure at a zoo there. Yeah. And like people said, or at least a little tagline on the article was like, he wanted to kill himself, but he was in there like cowered with this like curious tiger coming up, and he's like putting his hands up like, I've either made a mistake or I fell in accidentally. And like just the realization that no matter, like, it could have been Brock Lesnar in that cage, it wouldn't have made a difference. Like as soon as the tiger decided like, yeah, you don't smell that bad, you're food, and then just one clamp, not even like a big chomp of the jaws, just like a little, the way you'd clip a nail,
grabbed his neck.
Just grabs his neck, and he's dead immediately, and he's just a limp rag doll getting carried up a tree.
It carried him like a cat carries a rat. The way
have you seen that one, Scott? Have you seen all these? Oh, you need to watch more videos of like.
Yeah, you're not traumatized enough. People join the WhatsApp.
Well, the animals killing the people is better because it's usually people fucking with animals.
Did you see the camel? Did you see the camel? The camel's getting beat by the guy, and it comes down and bites the guy like right at the collarbone and picks him up into the air and flicks him, and then proceeds to murder him. The camel does, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I don't like people abusing animals, so whenever I see them like getting murdered by said animal, that's a happy day for me.
Camels, I think, are like notoriously mean. Like they're nasty. They'll be rude to you, aren't they?
Really? I've known a few camels.
Yeah, me too.
Just a little bit.
Well, that's more than I've known.
I've hand fed them and petted them and stuff.
Me too.
And they were cool.
Oh, I thought they were known to be mean. Well, never mind. I'm sorry, camels.
Camels, listen, we're sorry. We got you back.
Have you? I'm trying to think of other good animals fucking people up videos. It's been a long time since I've done a deep dive on that, but it requires poor security either around wild animals or around zoos. And just as it happens, like the Chinese and Indian security in zoos must be very lax because it seems like it's always there.
Hey, they got so many people over there. They're probably hoping like people kind of call themselves, you know.
Yeah. How about this method going back to ancient Rome called poena culae, and it is the punishment consisted of being so. This is like I'm Steve-O and I'm like this is that level of the punishment consists of being sewn up in a leather sack with a dog, a snake, a monkey, and a rooster, and then being thrown in the water. And then they just assume you're dead, I guess. from the Looney Tunes dust pile, that like a dog head and then a snake and then
I
your
choose
head.
to believe the dog partners up. Like, how are we going to get out of this, boss?
No,
we're in this together. It's really the snake that's the problem, guys. We just need to, if we can neutralize that, I can use my fingers to get out of the leather sack.
Oh my god, that's so stupid.
That is so dumb. That's like that had to have been invented when like Rome was maybe on the downturn. Like they're not banging on all cylinders anymore.
I think it's the opposite. You only come up with an idea like that if you have a lot of free time on your hand. You know, like they weren't like, oh my god, there's not enough grain to make it to May. They were like, what are we gonna do today? We got so many snakes and dogs in here. Somebody go get a big sack. Jim, come here. I got an idea.
That's what they're like funding research for it. They're like, all right, we'll be writing on like a tablet, like 6 chickens doesn't work. What else do we have? Like, what else can we put in there with them? 2 snakes? No, that's too fast.
I see we had a rooster, my lord. Is he gonna like peck him or like what? I don't know. It'd just be funny. And there's a rooster.
You were on the money, Kyle. They were doing it in the heyday, like prime Rome, because Hadrian was emperor when they were doing some of this. This wasn't like
Hadrian,
weird.
One of the good ones.
Wait, one of the good ones. One of the good ones, old Hadrian.
That's what they call him, right? The what are they?
Hadrian,
there's like 3 or 4 good emperors of Rome, and I think they just plainly call them the good emperors. There was only like 3 or 4.
Yeah, dude. Some of these killing by animals, obviously, we know about tearing apart by horses, a classic. But then I guess some areas were just like throw a lot of scorpions on a guy,
a scorpion pit,
just let it happen. No, just kind of dump a bag of scorpions on him.
You need like poisonous scorpions though, unless they were allergic. I'm afraid of scorpions. I think visually they're the most intimidating animal on the planet. I think if you didn't know how big a scorpion was, it's visually the scariest thing on this planet.
That's true. It's got those mean pincers. It's got the stinger.
The eyes, the pincers, the tail, 6 legs, like the whole thing.
I mean, it's way up there, right? Like I'm trying to think of something scarier, right? Pound for pound. Spiders are scary, but I think scorpions have them.
Maybe those wasps that lay their eggs in you, but you have to know that it's going to do that to you.
I think spiders are scarier, but mainly because there's like an unknown quantity when you see a spider. It's like they're so twitchy and shit like that. Like I feel like scorpions, if they're gonna come at you, they're gonna come at you straight. But like if you went at a spider with like anything, like a fucking gun, you know, I feel like it just knows like, oh, he's about to press, better move.
Yeah,
and that's fuck.
He hit you in the back. The spider would be sneaky and he'd hit you in the back, and the scorpion would take you head on. I like that. I like that. Yeah, and probably true if they were sentient.
I mean, if you were to do like a bug comparison intellect chart, I feel like spiders would have to be, you know, they're not beetles. Like they're definitely higher than that. Maybe ants would be higher than we think because they're like that hive and works together so well.
That web stuff they do is really interesting. You know, they've given them LSD spiders and then to see how they make a web. Then it's like, I try to make it perfect now, jackass. And they have a hard time.
Well, not anymore, Kyle. Trump cut the program.
Zach, find some pictures of webs made by spiders on LSD.
Yeah, I've seen that graphic. Neat. All the different drugs where like any drug throws them off in a big way. Even caffeine had them all fucked up.
What that says to me, though, is what they're doing requires some sort of like front brain shit, and it's not all like, you know how a dog points instinctively, and like you didn't have to teach him that, he's just pointing. Like you could think that maybe the web is that it's just programmed in, all right, and then left and then up and to the left and then up and to the left, some pattern. But you give them some drugs and they have a hard time remembering what to do.
Oh yeah, spiders can be affectionate too. Like if you get tarantulas and shit like that, which like somehow that makes them like scarier to me. I don't know why.
I agree. Like you'd like to think of them as unthinking and therefore incapable of anything, of any like plotting against you or holding a grudge against you. That's the biggest fear, that an animal would hold a grudge against you, and so you wouldn't know that he was shooting you straight when he smiled at you. Like if your dog would be friendly with you today, but really be thinking, just wait, motherfucker, just wait. Like that'd be the worst. That'd be the worst. You don't want to deal with an animal like that. That's what those orcas are like. That's what tigers are like. That's what chimps are like. If you wrong them, there was a story about a tiger. A tiger had killed some prey. It was eating it, and a hunter shoots the tiger, wounds the tiger. The tiger tracked the hunters down to his house miles away and killed him, like wounded. Like he took it personally.
Yeah, I mean,
he's like Michael Jordan, and I took that personally.
And also, it's like a smart animal like a tiger. Like that's all that it has on its agenda now. Like it doesn't have anything else to do. It's like a solitary creature. It's like, all right, now I'm all about killing you. Now I'm going to find where you live.
Rent to pay.
No, it's got nothing to do but kill you.
And those chimps are I think they do the same thing. I think that they plot against people who have wronged them or treated them poorly. If I was going to have anything to do with those chimp situations, I'd be so sweet. He would think of me as the guy who's always got a toy in one hand and a treat in the other and smiles. No, don't smile. That's weakness.
Frown, but not aggressively.
Yeah, the guy who never makes eye contact with me because he's sweet or whatever they want to think of me. I'd be nice to those monkeys. I don't want to get pulled apart. Whenever I see that they bite the fingers off. I thought you were joking about that.
No, they bite them clean off.
That you want to talk about a spider instinctively making a web or a dog instinctively pointing. Chimpanzees instinctively bite your digits off because that's how they disarm their chimpanzee opponents in the wild. Because without fingers, you can't grapple. They tear them. They bite them. 1, 2, 3. They like eat them off. Like it's not like a mauling where it's all just vicious and like they're like, all right, let's get these fingers off now.
They don't.
And they're chimps.
It's a problem.
They don't grow back, and it's not like if I were like I'm some mafia, torturer. If I'm biting someone's fingers off, I'm spitting them out afterward. Like I'm bite, spit. The monkeys just finger off. You've already got your opponent pinned down. Enjoy your snack. Like they're like eating the fingers as they're doing it. They're not just biting.
That's why a bear's so bad to be killed by, because they'll actively eat you alive. You've seen them eat salmon like that. They'll hold you down and then rip chunks out of your back and devour you. Like, and you can imagine how long it would take to die from something chewing on your back.
I'd be like trying to manipulate my neck up.
Take my neck. Take my neck.
I take it back. Major injuries are very painful.
Yeah. You like that'd be a bear would be an awful animal to be eaten by. We've talked about this before. Big cats, obviously the goat animal to be killed by. They don't want to eat you if you're still alive. They just want you dead first, so then they can go like drag my big body up.
Hyenas might be up there. I think same thing.
Hyenas, I imagine them just like
don't they bite
feverishly going.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
I've seen it where hyenas go after male lions' balls.
I think they're just having fun because they hate male lions and they eat their young.